The arena fell silent as the gate groaned open. Apex stepped into the blood-soaked sand, her boots leaving precise prints in the rust-colored dust. The crowd, a sea of fur, scales, and chitinous plates pressed against the energy barriers, their collective breathing creating a rhythm like distant thunder. They had come from 17 systems to witness the impossible. A human in the proving grounds. She looked small beneath the twin suns of Kareth Prime. Her frame was lean, almost fragile compared to the Vrix warriors who had dominated these pits for 3 centuries. No armor plates, no natural weapons, just synth fiber combat gear and the strange, unsettling calmness in her brown eyes. Across the arena, the reigning champion emerged. Vraxul the Render stood 4 meters tall, his obsidian exoskeleton reflecting the harsh sunlight like fractured glass. Bone spurs jutted from his shoulders and forearms, each one a trophy from a fallen opponent. His mandibles clicked in what the translator rendered as laughter. "They send me this?" Vraxul's voice boomed across the arena. "A soft skin? The humans have truly fallen if this is their warrior." Apex didn't respond. She simply rolled her shoulders, fingers flexing at her sides. In the VIP section, the Galactic Council observers leaned forward. This was meant to be a formality, a demonstration of human inferiority before the treaty negotiations. Earth had been petitioning for full membership for decades. The Council had demanded proof of worthiness. They had expected Earth to send their champion in powered armor, bristling with weapons. Instead, they sent her. The starting chime rang out a crystalline note that seemed to hang in the air. Vraxul charged. 3 tons of armored fury crossed the arena in seconds, claws extended, mandibles wide enough to split a ship's hull. The crowd roared. Bets were settled in microseconds. This would be over quickly. Apex moved, not away, into the charge. At the last possible instant, she dropped low, sliding beneath Vraxul's grasp. Her hand lashed out not with a weapon, but with an open palm striking a nerve cluster beneath his chest plate that Vrix anatomy claimed was protected. Vraxul stumbled, confusion flashing across his compound eyes. Before he could recover, Apex was behind him. Her fingers found purchase points on his exoskeleton that shouldn't have existed. Leveraging his own momentum, 200 pounds of human muscle redirected 3 tons of alien warrior into the arena wall with a thunderous crash. The crowd's roar died in their throats. Vraxul rose, slower now, ichor dripping from a crack in his shell. His movements became more cautious, more deliberate. He circled, seeking an opening. Apex mirrored him, her breathing steady, her eyes tracking not just his movements but the microscopic shifts in his weight distribution. They clashed again, and again. Each time, Apex adapted. When Vraxul swept low with his tail, she vaulted over it, using his own spine as a stepping stone to deliver a devastating elbow to his sensory organ cluster. When he tried to corner her against the barrier, she scaled the energy field itself, something the designers swore was impossible, and dropped onto his back like a predator claiming prey. The fight stretched from seconds to minutes. Vraxul, the undefeated champion of 100 battles, began to slow. His exoskeleton, designed to withstand plasma fire, showed cracks and stress fractures from precisely targeted strikes. His breathing grew labored. Apex looked untouched, unmarked, and utterly, terrifyingly calm. In the spectator section, among the sea of alien faces, a small Vrix cub clung to their parent's arm. Kiri had been brought to witness greatness, to see what their species could achieve. But as they watched the human move, predicting attacks before they came, striking with surgical precision, adapting to every strategy, something deep and primal stirred in their young mind. "Parent," Kiri whispered, voice trembling. "Why is the Apex wearing human skin?" The adult Vrix looked down, mandibles clicking nervously. "What do you mean, youngling?" "That's not prey," Kiri said, unable to look away from the arena. That's an apex predator. But she looks like them. Like the soft skins we were told were weak." Around them, other spectators began to murmur. The same realization spreading like wildfire through the crowd. This wasn't a fight. This was a hunt. And they had been watching the wrong species. Below, Vraxul made his final desperate lunge, throwing every ounce of his remaining strength into one crushing blow. Apex caught his arm mid-strike, her grip impossible, immovable. For a moment, they froze, the massive warrior and the small human, locked in a tableau that would be transmitted across 1,000 worlds. Then Apex moved. A twist. A shift of weight. A technique that looked simple but required understanding of leverage, anatomy, and physics that took humans millennia to perfect. Vraxul hit the ground hard enough to crack the arena floor. He didn't rise. The silence was absolute. Apex stood over her fallen opponent, chest rising and falling with the first sign of exertion she'd shown. She offered her hand, a human gesture of respect. After a long moment, Vraxul took it, allowing himself to be pulled upright. His mandibles moved, and the translator caught his words. "What? What are you?" Apex smiled, a predator's smile that made half the audience instinctively step back. "Persistence, Hunter," she said simply. "We don't win because we're stronger. We win because we don't stop. We adapt. We endure. And we've spent 3 million years learning to kill things bigger than us." The medical drone swept in to tend to Vraxul as Apex walked toward the exit. The crowd parted before her like a sea before a shark. In the VIP section, the council observers sat rigid, their calculations of human capability being frantically recalculated. As Apex passed the spectator section where Kiri sat, the cub called out, voice high and clear in the shocked silence. "Will Earth teach us to hunt like that?" Apex paused, looking up at the small Vrix with something almost like kindness in her eyes. "Maybe," she said. "But first, you'll have to understand something important." She gestured to the arena, to Vraxul being carried away, to the shattered assumptions littering the blood-soaked sand. Humans didn't climb to the top of our food chain through strength or armor or natural weapons. We got there because we learned. Because every time something tried to eat us, we figured out how to eat it instead. She walked on, leaving the arena in silence. In the coming days, Earth's petition for full Galactic Council membership would be fast-tracked. Treaty negotiations that had stalled for decades would conclude in hours, and across 17 systems, species that had dismissed humanity as soft, weak, and irrelevant would begin to understand a truth that Apex had demonstrated with brutal efficiency. The most dangerous predator isn't the one with the sharpest claws. It's the one that learns how to use yours against you. And humanity had spent its entire existence learning.